Most of what you have in Port Harcourt, especially the Diob area, the Abloma area, the town Borokiri area, they're not masquerades. They're not. Now, what we see there, I've had Agaba before. It's Agaba. And Agaba, to the best of my knowledge, to my study, to my research, was a market masquerade, my one market of those days. Yes, it was what they used to celebrate, at my one market called Mbedike. Was the Mbedike masquerade of my one market of those days. It's an offshoot. So when the big men in my one are celebrating, the Mbedike comes out, which is the Agaba, right? When the small boys are celebrating, that one is called Ojonu for the boys of the market. So
for that age group.
Yeah, so you have the Mbedike and the Ojonu, which was the Agaba masquerade at my one. Now, in most of today, what we see is Agaba. So let nobody tell me that masquerades are bad. So, and after the war, they kind of militarized the Agaba group.
Why though?
I have no idea. So it moved from Diob to Diob to town to Borokiri, Abloma, all those areas, right? And there's one thing we should know. The Agaba masquerade of today, or for the past 15 years, is part of the gang culture in Port Harcourt.
Interesting.
Yes. So, but I go to my village, I go to Obakri, I go and see Obueze, I go and see Oweli, and I'm happy. To dance, they don't cut anybody.
Yes, we've seen that. Machete sticks.
Yes, they don't cut anybody with their machetes. We are happy to sit down, we watch, we dance. The women are doing the Eriku. The drummers are beating the drums. The masquerades at Iche, the masquerades in Choba, the masquerades at Igruta. But why Abloma? Why Borokiri? Why town? Why Diob? Have we asked those questions? That's the Agaba group. And it's an offshoot of the gang culture in Port Harcourt. They're not masquerades. Nobody should tell me they're masquerades.
Okay, so metamorphosis, from what was originally, celebrated part of Port Harcourt. The question, and unfortunately you don't have the answer, is, okay, why exactly did this metamorphosize? But I have to think, straight off the top of my bat, if it really is, and we're going to open the phone lines after the commercial, if it really is the militarization or the association of this gang culture or gang groups, right, to imbibe what was essentially a good tradition, why haven't people been speaking about this against that as it were, assimilation?
But I'm speaking now.
But now you are,
because you asked me.
But that's the
if you hadn't asked me, I'll probably mind my own. I go to Obakri and watch my masquerades there.
Up until yesterday, I can't go back to those messages. Up until yesterday, when we had callers who said, "Oh, they witnessed this happening and it has been happening," somebody asked a question: if this has been happening, why haven't the residents in Port Harcourt made a complaint up until recently? During the holidays, during the Christmas holidays into the New Year, particularly the New Year, they were, in fact, it's a conversation we're going to have where, this practice of burning tires still continues despite the warnings from the government, right? People did not officially make a report to the police that, masquerade, in quotes, attacked me. But they will tell, from what the person said, but they will tell the general public that is our community masquerade. And from these places you just made mention, talking about Diobu, Abloma, town was the first place that was called out yesterday. Nobody said we disavow or we disown these people. So if the gang culture has imbibed or the gangs have imbibed what is essentially a good culture, then why haven't the people been speaking?
The people have spoken, right? But who do they complain to? They post on Facebook, that's social media. They call radio programs. They send you messages, or else you wouldn't have known this. Now, that's speaking out. Now, but if you want a Port Harcourt person who probably doesn't know where his next meal is going to come from, or if he's hustling for his daily pay, to walk to the police station to say, "Hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. I want to file a report. A masquerade flogged my neighbor day before yesterday." I don't know who's going to do that. Because when we've lost confidence in the police, we believe that once you go there, nothing's going to happen. They're probably going to tell the masqueraders that You reported them.
But that's the way accusations occur. If someone comes and says, the police comes and knocks at this door and says, Jude, we are arresting you for stealing somebody's bunch of plantain, I would like to know who is accusing me of stealing their plantains. And it's very possible. I've been known to do some interesting things.
So the point is that people just feel that nothing is going to happen, right? So they feel, okay, if I call Jude's show, Jude has a popular show in Port Harcourt. If he talks about it some more, okay, now China Acheru is here talking about it some more. Maybe the police PRO is listening.
Okay.
And something we've done about it. Maybe someone from government is listening. But the regular Nigerian will not walk to a police station to make a report. I don't know why it's that way. The regular Nigerian won't.
Okay, all right. Now, talking about regular Nigerian, sometime last year, into the year before, there was a very popular Nigerian movie that was released. And after that movie was released, after its release, just before the elections or after the elections, it caused a bit of an uproar. Why? Because a masquerade was depicted in that movie, and the masquerade, or the culture of the masquerade, was used to carry out a crime. And so it led to a debate. I can't even believe that it's taken us nearly 8 months to visit this conference. I don't know if you saw that movie, but the masquerade that we're talking about is the Eyo masquerade of Lagos. Now, the masquerades were used by a gang in that movie to go to someone's house and kill the person. Now, the custodians of the culture in Lagos came on and said that particular movie should be banned. They're not happy with it because it was a misrepresentation of their culture. Now, a lot of people, came up and said, no, that's not exactly true. They're not trying to say the culture is bad. They're just trying to say that people used that masquerade to carry out, this is like as the name implies, a mask to do something wrong. It's China. Why is it taking so long for people to do what? Let me
say this:
the
Lagos chiefs did. The Eyo depicts the Yoruba or the Lagos culture. So when a movie showed Eyo committing a robbery, they came and said, "No, this is not us." Right? Mm-hmm. If tomorrow I see Weze in a movie committing a crime, as a proud son of Wezina, I'm going to come out and say, "No,
we don't do that.
We don't do that. I will do that." So the question I should ask now: of what culture is the Agaba? Where on earth did it come from? Who were the my one market traders at that time that used the Agaba masquerade to celebrate? Who are they? Where are they? What are they doing these days? Why can't they speak? So we should ask that question: where did Agaba originate from? I'm certain it's not an Ikwere masquerade.
All right, we have a break coming up in about 41 seconds. These are the numbers that you need to have to join us in our conversations. After the break, a break is about 2 minutes. So in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we'll be back. The numbers that you will be expected to call: 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007. Our WhatsApp and Telegram number is 08. When we come back, I'd like to get to hear from you. China's asked the question, so where did the Agaba group come from? The masquerade. Doesn't think it's an Ikwere tradition, but it's being used.
I know it's not Ikwere tradition.
Here you go.
It's not an Ikwere masquerade.
Our local DB has spoken. We'll be back after the break. to not be on my lonesome. Now, if you're just joining in, we are talking about our cultural practices and traditions. Of particular mention is celebrations. You see, which of them should be discouraged? Yesterday, on this very program, some people were saying, look, the masquerades, they're not the good one. These masquerades, they're even bad. Some of them even attacked. I saw, and we heard those stories yesterday, which got me thinking, let's do some research. Has this been all the plan all the while? Now, in front of me is a page, talking about some of the very popular masquerades in Nigeria. Adama, popular masquerade among the Enugu Igbo people in the southwestern part of Nigeria. It's the name given to the first daughter in the Igbo household that means beautiful woman. Although it's named after a woman, the masquerade is usually carried by men. They are dressed in elegant attires. Please, emphasis on elegant attires, and they dance so well to the amazement of the onlookers. Now, a few of these masquerades, China, if your memory will do you well, have been called for at National Day celebrations, presidential visits, and occasions. Talking about this particular one, the Zaga also is said to be comical. And as a child, I looked forward to seeing these ones. They are the masquerades that will be on stilts. Interestingly, they are also found in the northern parts of Nigeria. They were on stilts. They were in the west. They were in the east, particularly in the east, but they're also in the northern parts where they'll be on stilts. They could be very tall as 10 feet in some places, and a lot of people like them. Those were the masquerades we grew up with. But in Port Harcourt, in particular, there's been a metamorphosis, an imbibing of this culture, which some would say it's not bad. Although there are some who are vehemently opposed to masquerades in general, and I'm going to be talking to China about them very shortly. My name is Jude. Welcome, as always, to your conversation station.
Stimulating and insightful conversations. Hello, Port Harcourt. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Once again, I'll look at the bears here. China, Mecca.
Bekulem.
Good to have you join us. Now, we've seen some of this great masquerades and the cultures and how we used to, look forward to. They were entertaining in the riverine areas. We also have the masquerades, the crocodile masquerades, on the water side from Opobo, from Abonima, and parts of Izon. Those are the Ijoid speaking groups. Now, we've seen them in movies and all those things. The question, the first one I want to get to you now is, so why are some people opposed to them entirely? Because of, in quotes, what they say is a spiritual rites of passages for certain men, for certain age groups. And so if they come out at night, the ancestors are meant to be, with the boys, and the women are their problem. And that notion has been passed down from generation to generation, and some other things, some other practices. But today you have some people who will tell you anything when concern masquerade, they do. I'm not going to let my pikin go wear that in our juju. It is spoiled destiny. Are we unfairly relegating what is meant to be a thing of celebration?
Yes, we are. Those people who say things like that are those that have imbibed European culture. And one of the times I spoke on this show, I said to the average Nigerian, what comes from abroad is better than what comes from our own side. So everything local or cultural is bad and evil, and everything that comes from that side is okay. Now, talking about the spirit in those masquerades, I don't know if the spirit actually got angry at a point and left for good. I really don't know. Maybe they got angry, got tired of the country, and left for good, wherever they left to. When I was a kid growing up, we used to go to the village at Christmas, New Year, and all that time, and there was a house in the village that was not just on the left of my father's house, right? And that was where all the masquerades were stored. And when the masquerade display is about to start, they come out from that place. At night, we believe we used to hear sounds and voices from that house. And the legend that was told to us was those were the spirits talking, the ancestors talking. Now, whether it's my small child's mind,
the imagination,
we don't know, but we knew that we used to hear sounds come out of that house at night, and nobody was living there. And they would tell us, no, don't worry, don't panic. The ancestors are speaking. It's the spirits talking. So the point now is that if this is not happening anymore, did the spirits just get angry and leave?
So they don't talk anymore right now?
I have no idea.
We should investigate.
It's been long actually slept in my village. I go to my village regularly, but it's more than 20 years actually slept in my village. So I don't know if that happens. And of course, you know, there was a bitter war that destroyed everything, including that house.
Oh dear.
Yes, between 1999 and 2000, early 2000. So I wouldn't know. But at that time, that's what used to happen. So does it still happen now? I wouldn't know. Now all the stories Chinua Achebe told, do they still happen now? Because it's like the spirits have distanced themselves from us, the ancestors. It's like they're tired of us. So that's I can't tell, but I believe that that's our way to commune with the ancestors. And that's their own way of entertaining us too.
All right, communing, entertaining. Some not happy with it, but let us get to you right now and your views this morning. Do we outrightly distance ourselves like China says we're already doing with, in quotes, this particular tradition of using masquerades for celebratory purposes, or do we address those who are nefariously using the culture to commit crime, to assault people, to restrict movement, and then to extort money? I was surprised to hear that some of you said that they would knock out cars, and if you don't give them money, they will be shaking your vehicles. Really?
Sometimes they break your windscreen, break your side mirror in Port Harcourt.
I didn't know the ancestors liked side mirrors that much.
Those are not ancestors.
Okay.
Those are gang members dressed in fancy cloth. Now, let's get to you this morning. 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003. WhatsApp and Telegram available on 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. All right, we have some messages. Don't forget, at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you will find us on Facebook and on X. Please don't forget, turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Do not make inciting statements. Very importantly, please do not make comments that you do not see or have knowledge about. Shall we begin? I think we shall. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Hello, Port Harcourt. Welcome, please.
Hello, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
And to your guest in the studio.
Good morning.
China is his name. Good morning.
China. Okay. I'm calling. My name is Kelsey Tubaya. I'm calling from Port Harcourt Township. I am from Opika.
Okay.
I'm so happy to hear about this conversation today, but I want to talk some things about the Quaker people.
Okay.
In Port Harcourt. I heard your guys mention of Agaba. I want to say that this particular play in Port Harcourt Township is not an Agaba play. It's a traditional play in Africa, and the communities that made up Africa. Now it's common in Port Harcourt. I would say that it's common in Port Harcourt, and I observe that it's affecting some visitors in Port Harcourt that don't know about the play.
But what about the complaints of people being assaulted? Oh dear. All right, 92.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning to you, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yes. Thank you very much. I also greet Mr. China there.
Good morning.
Dude, remember yesterday when I called, my name is Mike Henry from Brooklyn. I told you that
good morning,
most of these masquerade or Agaba, as he has put it, turned up to be gangsters. I told you yesterday, right? Thank God. He made mention of it to confirm what I told you yesterday. They also destroy. Thank God he said the they could break side mirror. I've seen in my eyes. They stand in front of you with waving machete, big cutlasses, dangerous sticks. Jews, those days in grass, in Nimbe, you would enjoy masquerades. Those Ofima, Ofima and shark.
Yes.
You see crocodile, you see shark, you see this big snake, python. You see, like you enjoy being like you enjoy watching masquerades. Nobody intimidates. Hello, Jude?
Yes, we're listening to you, please. Yes, we're listening to you, please.
Nobody intimidates you. You enjoy watching. It's just that our parents at that time warned us not getting closer because of the spiritual aspect of it, that you could get possessed by some of the spirits. Yes. Yeah, and I've actually seen it. You get possessed, you dance in a very funny manner. If your guest would even say something about it, I believe I believe your guest knows what I'm talking about. You get possessed by the spirits. So I want to thank you very much for mentioning African Night Entertainment. I enjoyed that book. I still have it in my library, in my bookshelf. I just might know you mentioned.
It's lovely. Thank you very much. It really is lovely. 92.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning to you, please.
Hello, dude.
Good morning. Welcome. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Good morning. Thank you, dude. Look, dude, I grew up in town when this Agaba massacre started. Before it started with one particular one, those people that were found, no shade. And before you know, they started coming up. One young boy, started coming up with a small Agaba group. This particular group boys to set up their own, and town boys to set up their own, Rocky boys to set up their own, just like that. And before you know, when they come together, they will clash. Before after that, they start carrying matches. So from there, small cultism coming out. So I think that particular one that is this set up in a neutral place like that, like that, different boys from different tribes set up. I think that one, I don't really subscribe to that one. That is what really led to the violence and the cultism in town. Honestly, those that are sincere will know that. But for those ones that are being held in villages, like in my village, I think those ones just portray our culture. And I think it's tough. If you're a Christian, you believe in, you don't like it, just remove yourself from it. But those that believe in it, you go ahead and do it. Yeah, I don't judge, honestly. So if you don't like it, maybe for those that love it, go ahead. Let the tradition continue.
All right. So if you don't like it, leave. If you want it, the tradition should go ahead. But we're talking recently, in the past few years, China, about owning our stories, making sure that we tell the stories as they affect us, the way we've always seen them, not the way in quotes, the foreigners, the Westerners, or the Western religion has seen it. But let's say the way we were taught, the way it meant. Yes, by the time, there's something called a compromise. By the time two ideologies come, maybe a common ground will be found, or maybe, you drop someone, you imbibe some. So, like she's saying, why can't we, put these things up in a more positive light? I can't remember the last time, even during the presidential inauguration of last year, I cannot remember seeing up to 5 masquerades, if I thought they were, at Tinubu's inauguration. Can you remember?
I don't either.
But it used to be a thing.
A feature, a regular feature, yes. It used to be, yes.
A very prominent feature.
Well, maybe, then the question should be, what's the Ministry of Culture and Tourism doing at federal and at state level? Big question to ask. Now, our friend Yibo Koko is doing a lot in Rivers State, even though he's not a commissioner. He's doing a lot in Rivers State with the Seki dance.
That's gone all over Netherlands, America.
So, that's the best way we can tell our story. Whenever I watch Yibo on Facebook, or whenever I see him, I probably see him like once a year. Whenever I see him, we spend a lot of time talking. And it's about telling our story, right? So we need to tell more of our stories, right? We need to tell our positive stories. And when there are negative stories, we don't need to deny negative stories.
Okay.
Because we need to try to correct it.
Okay.
Correct negative. If you're doing something wrong, it's wrong. Now, masquerades,
like what we're doing right now.
Masquerades should not be beating people up on the streets. That's not why they're there. Kids should not see masquerades and run. Women should not see masquerades and run. Men should not see masquerades and run because I saw somebody on Facebook that had a broken head.
Wow.
In town.
Wow.
A broken head. So those are not masquerades. We know the real masquerades. We enjoy them. So let's tell our stories.
But whilst I agree that yes, we enjoy them, but I have to make reference to those stories I read, and some of you probably did read, from the very popular books and novels of the time. It was clearly stated, China, that look, that there are some masquerades. There are the masquerades for everybody to enjoy. But there are some masquerades, particularly for those rites of passages, at night, that people are not meant to, as it were, engage
I agree with that. Yes, there are some. So if, for example, we know that, let's say, masquerade XYZ comes out every 20th of October, and on that day, people should not be seen on the streets. Why will I be on the streets? But you can't tell me on the 1st of January, on the 2nd of January, in broad daylight, I'm driving my car, and somebody smashes my windscreen because he has a mask covering his face. He's an armed robber. That's what he is, he's an armed robber.
Okay, all right. That's what he is. 92.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning to you. We'll get to your messages shortly.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to
My
you.
name is Ibiso from Odilero.
Good morning, Nibiso.
To me, the masquerade, where you say where this Agaba, their origin, I just feel in Brazil or Mexico, because sometimes what they are moved. When the masquerade they are playing, some of them they will play their gang, they will play an attack on another gang. Now, like in Port Harcourt, different Agaba to attack different Agaba, they will take the Agaba head and go to an area, like in town. They will attack the one in Joe and take the Agaba head and go to town and say, if it's strong, come and take it from us. So to me, from Mexico and Brazil, when all their gang groups play such things like that. Now in Port Harcourt here, in those late 80s, you see them when they are playing, they use axe and fight each other. People are deriving joy. From there, when China was saying of gang, from there, they migrated to call gang. In town houses and in job houses, so you cannot use their Agaba and cross UTC. If you cross UTC, job will attack you. And people are deriving joy from it. Now, talk of the culture, our culture. Go to, yes, you have the one was there. You cannot come and flog me. Because if you flog me, I will use my power and call my friend and flog you back. We used to do it in those days. If you flog any of our relatives, we said we will gang up and dress and cover the person's face. So use cane and come and flog you.
That's sparks of violence.
Some of them are violent. And what China is saying in the studio, most of these people, as I was saying, they graduated from this masquerade, different Agaba group, to call gang now, and they are still existing. Go and check all this mafia movies. How these masquerades already used to operate on the street when they want to go and attack. From there, they will protect us from go with pistol and all the rest. But I pray the Ministry of Culture and Tourism should come and give some good things that will be entertaining people during the festive period. Like, no kind of give again. That you go and you entertain and catch your phone.
That's
Most children now on the streets, all with different masquerades. Like this December, I saw one man say, if you flog my son, I will flog you and you back my father.
all right, Ibiso, thank you very much. That's a very good point you made mention of. Talking about, when you had the very big festivals, talking about Canary River and also the one in Calabar, the Calabar festival, Carnival, which was big. It was big, but in the earlier mid 2000s, it was on the African continent. So much so, it was on syndicated television.
The Carnival in Rivers State stopped 8 years ago. Yes, when the immediate past governor, Wike, took over, I think he decided to stop the Carnival. He gave his reasons. I don't remember the reasons he gave.
I think the one that was the period where we were having the recession 2016, if I remember, just after the recession started. So obviously, he said pockets had to be streamlined.
No, I'm looking at a bit of history. I just picked up now from the British Academy, britishacademy.ac.uk, and it says Igbo traders who moved to the coastal cities of Port Harcourt and Calabar for business in the 1940s and 50s performed their marks displays at school festivals and Igbo Day, that's the Agaba. Now he said, after the Civil War, with the Igbo traders leaving the city, the Agaba masquerade was taken over by local young men. In Calabar, it was taken over by a group of Efik-speaking boxers and weightlifters from the poorer neighborhoods, while in Port Harcourt, young men set up groups. You know, and that's how it traced the violence in the 80s, right? Now, it talks about in the 80s, youth unemployment in these cities was known as the Agaba syndrome, and there are always clashes between the police and the Agaba masquerade. So it's a gang thing, right? Now, it was brought into Port Harcourt and Calabar by the Igbo traders, like I said earlier. So it was their culture. But when most of them left after the war, our own people here imbibed it and turned it into something else. So talking about defending your culture, who speaks? Now if you're an Igbo trader at say my one market, probably your father was part of the Agaba thing when he started. You should defend your culture
and say this is not what we do.
I wouldn't be quiet if the Ogweze or the Oweli is being bastardized somewhere in Bakri. No, I will speak out. So speak out. Because what we see now, thank God for a few callers coming, what we see now is gang wars. They're not masquerades.
They're not masquerades, and we have proof here, documentation, research to prove that it's not the first time this is happening. I am from Omoku. This is on WhatsApp in Onelga. Ours is even worse. Our masquerades go about flogging people with koboko. What do you people do? And then they even move around with machetes. A woman or non-indigens dare not come out across our masquerades. Even we, the indigens, avoid them most times. Escobar says, "Really? And you are sitting down? You're cool with that?" Good morning. If I may ask, are masquerades humans or are they spirits? Because I'm always confused about it. Let us ask China. He's not far from where I am. David, in Igbo. Are they humans or are they spirits?
They are worn by human beings, but controlled by the spirits.
Okay. Yeah. David, I hope that helps you. But you said the spirits apparently have left.
Yeah, because we don't hear from them these days like before.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't know. We don't hear from them like before. So maybe they're angry.
Maybe they're angry. We should get the spirits back because we really need some insights. All right. Good morning, Jude. This is on WhatsApp. Your guest is very correct about the masquerade and the Agaba. On New Year's Day, I played a masquerade in Rumelumini called Owo Carpenter of Akani compound, Rumelumini. We used it to visit our relatives who married out, and we see another Agaba molesting people, and they were stealing phones from a store. We immediately chased them out of Rumelumini community after we discovered they came from Diobu and collected phones they stole from them and gave to the owners. Okichiku Jonathan from Rumelumini.
Defending your culture.
Interesting.
Because, according to what he says now, they usually do this to visit their in-laws. On their way out of visiting their in-laws, still dressed as masquerades. They met an Agaba group stealing phones. Anybody could have easily said, "Nah, them steal phone." They defended their culture. They chased the group of criminals, retrieved the phones, and gave out to the owners. So, like I said, a lot of things have been bastardized, especially in cities, because in the cities you have people from different places coming together.
True.
So it's easy for the culture of a city to be lost, the original culture to be lost. It's very easy. And that's why Port Harcourt is like this most of the time, because some people say Port Harcourt is no man's land. I don't think it is. It's not no man's land.
All right. 92.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning to you, please.
Yeah, Mr. Zion. Jude, good morning to you.
Good morning. Welcome.
As a child, I grew up in Port Harcourt. We saw the Agaba thing. Basically, zone from the Dio down to the OGRs and stuff. And then we know that what they do normally is to visit.
Hello?
Performance from great people from their compounds and stuff like that. But what is happening now at jobless?
Oh dear. Apologies, Zion. That's a network interruption. Agaba masquerades, from the ones I know, originated from Ogoni. We even have it in my own town, Teka Sogo community in Kana local government area. All right, Otis Salah says, I think the gods must be crazy. The masquerades are beginning to use it to extort money from people like the police. Well, Otis Salah, you've heard China, and he's going to reiterate it once again. Are there genuine masquerades?
We have genuine masquerades, but a lot of what you see in Port Harcourt are gangsters dressed in fancy clothes.
Okay, there you have it. They are not the ones that the spirits and the ancestors used to talk to us and dance with us. So yeah, they are gang members. All right, okay. Now, Jude, can you compare the masquerades in Calabar Carnival to the ones here parading themselves as masquerades but criminals in those sackcloths? Michael says. Destiny says, Happy New Year. Jude, you said we should tell our stories about our culture masquerades. Let me tell my own. Some years back, I went to my mom's village for the burial of my grandmother, only to be flogged by a masquerade. I was flogged because I did not give them money, and they told the masquerade to flog me. Jude, I fought this masquerade with everything in me. So from that day, anywhere I see them, it is automatically evil to me. I don't even want to consider it as a tradition or something about religious beliefs. All right, thank you very much. Interesting.
And I'd love to know his mom's village.
Yeah, oh yeah, if you can, please let us know. All right, good morning, Jim. It is so annoying what we see now as masquerades. I almost broke the legs of two. Peace, please. Who stood in front of my car at Aboloma? They ran away. Eddie says. Interesting. All right, good morning, Jude. I do design and carve masquerades during the festive period. We showcase it without any form of spiritual attachment to be involved. Round face from Umekini. All right, so that's an artist there, talking about their use of the culture for business purposes. Well, China, I have to say, I wouldn't say I'm shocked, but I'm pleased, just like you anticipate that people should call in and defend their culture.
As it should be.
As it should be.
Yeah.
So, not a bad thing to have a masquerade during celebrations and things and certain periods of the year.
No, not a bad thing. It actually helps with the celebration. People need to just come out and get some fresh air, be happy, laugh, dance a bit, and go back home. All
right. We saw the long ones back in those days. I wish they can bring them back. My name is Jude. Thank you as always for joining us. And Opataka returns.
For more talk, news,